Good morning. I am Lorraine Brock, professional organizer and owner of a company called Get Organized. And today is Tuesday. And if you know anything about Tuesdays, I do a segment every Tuesday called Tip Tuesday, where I bring you some fun, practical, organizing advice about your home, business, or life. So today here I have Margaret. Margaret is a homeowner in Saxe. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Margaret had contacted, or I had contacted her, we're going to talk about that in a second, a while back. And I said, somehow or another, we got talking about doing a Tip Tuesday and ideas for helping in her home. And I was like, yeah. So I love the idea of coming into someone's home that I've never been in before. And today is all going to be about giving you guys tips based on her spaces, which we all have some common spaces. We all have linen closets. Often we all have some gift closets, things that we're going to talk about today. So hopefully you guys will be able to get some advice and some ideas from Margaret's spaces for your particular space. Now, Margaret, tell me how we ended up chatting.
I think I just saw some of your tips online, and they all related to me.
Okay.
So I figured if they relate to me, they've got to relate to everybody else. So
Okay.
I have issues that I would love to have help with, and I'm sure you can do it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I know that we've been talking for a while and having to get schedules down and coordinating everything, but I've asked you to pick your top 3 spaces, and then we're going to do a little bit of giving you some tips after we're done with Tip Tuesday and it closes out. I'm going to stay a little bit and give you some tips on your other areas.
Thank you.
All right, so let's talk about the first area. And we're going to walk around your home, and we're going to start off with, we're going to do 3 areas. And I've just glanced at these areas. You sent me pictures last night, so I've not really studied them. I've not measured. So the suggestions are going to be very much on the whim. I mean, if that's even the correct terminology. But there's a lot of things that I can see when I saw them in the picture that I think I can help you with. The first area we're going to go to is your Christmas gift area. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the camera around, and we're going to head into your Christmas gift closet. And remember, we're tethered here with microphones. Little creative space here. And I'm going to take everybody to your gift closet. So go ahead. Let's go for the Christmas area. Now, I don't know about you, meaning the fans online, but we want to make sure that if you have a gift closet or a Christmas closet, it's still the same thing. You still have gifts you got to give people, right?
Exactly.
So tell us a little bit about what's going on in this closet.
Well, as I find items that I know will be a good gift for someone, I buy it. And then I have to figure out where to put it and store it, so that when I want the gift, that I don't go through all these gifts, I have to go through all of them to find the one gift that I want. So I'm just needing some idea on how to organize this so that I can go to the gift when I need it quickly.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So what I would do, the first thing I would do, and again, I'm not going to ask everything, to be done right now as far as you got to find some spaces. For example, I would consider, if you could, to remove these clothing and find another place for them, because here's what I would do. I would take these clothing out, and they go back a little bit further back here, and I would put in a freestanding shelf. And most of the time you can buy these. They at Walmart, Lowe's. And what you're going to do is you're going to remove this bar possibly. The shelf may be able to go right from the floor all the way underneath here, just without any kind of bar being removed. Now, let's just say, because you got a lot of clothing hanging space here, you might be able to hang your clothing down there and your shelf here, or because if you don't get in here as much, maybe you hang a section of clothing here and your shelf back there. Okay. And what you're going to get is you're going to get a whole lot of shelf space all the way down to the bottom of the floor, all the way up to put things on. I would probably put bins on those shelves and divide out the gifts by either category, like lotions or jewelry or things like that. Now, if you know a specific person you want to give them for, then you might want to put a bin for each person that you're buying for. Now, could you keep them in these types of bags? Absolutely. I mean, you could, and put them on the shelf. Things that are, and I don't, hopefully no one in your family is going to be watching.
I know, that's what I was afraid of.
I don't know if I should go in here. I don't know if I should go in here and actually.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought about that one.
I was like, oh no one watched this. Okay, so a stuffed animal here. So I would probably put this in like my categories are baby and then kids.
Yes.
So you might put this in the kids section or the baby section, depending on how you're going to give it. Now, do you have things in this closet that are not Christmas, that are just gifts?
Nope.
Those are all just all
Christmas.
Christmas. Okay. So that's the first thing I would do, is create some additional shelf space in here, because the top, even though you could use it, it's a little harder to get to. Maybe you can take some of these clothing and fold them up and put them in the bins at the top.
Okay.
And that way, that would be more your long-term clothing. Maybe you don't use very often at the top, and then open up some space down here. The other thing, obviously your floor. So your floor down here has bags of gifts in it. Now, a couple things. If you decide to keep the clothes hanging here, what I might do is get some Sterilite drawers right underneath here. The plastic bin drawers.
Yes.
Now, you can get higher quality ones at Container Store. You can get Alpha metal drawers. You can get, at IKEA, they have Algot is the brand, and it's like half the price of Alpha. And they're metal drawers that would just fit right underneath your clothing here and pull out. They have laminate tops, and you can create drawer systems underneath here to house more stuff. Mm-hmm. Okay. The other thing I would do is your door space. Anytime you see a door in a house, I always like to do something with it. The cheapest thing to do is put hooks on it for certain things if you're hanging. You could hang certain things on it for more storage, like bags. You could hang like one of our clients, we had a hook and we had a net bag, and we put all the stuffed animals in it that they were going to gift over the years. But another thing is using a clear shoe organizer. Just taking a pocketed shoe organizer, putting it over the top of the door, and you can put in here possibly even gift wrap things like ribbon, scissors, things like that, because you have a bed here. Maybe you use this as your wrapping area for Christmas. I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You can get storage here that could keep gift bags, or be honest with you, I'd probably use a container inside of here for your gift bags, or maybe start storing your Christmas wrapping in here, because why take it all the way out to the living room or to the kitchen and make a mess out there and bring it back when you're done? This could be solely your wrapping room, where everything stays from the closet, and goes to the bed to be wrapped, and then goes out underneath the tree. But your clear pocketed shoe organizer here on the door, you can use that for small gifts. Maybe stocking stuffers that you're wanting to do. But because this is only used for Christmas, I think using the bin idea would be really good because what's happening here is when you buy these bags, you are wasting additional space up here. See this space right here?
Yes.
Right. So you're not really maximizing your space, because unless you stuff something else up here, you're really losing some spaces. And, this bag is not completely filled, so you're still losing space there too, right?
Exactly.
So if you have the totes in there, and of course you're going to have to measure the depth of your shelves here. What I would probably say is that these shelves are probably going to be about 10 inches deep. And you're going to find containers that'll probably go sideways versus front and back. And you're going to want to measure the height of the shelves to get the tallest container that will fit there. And then, does it need to be see-through? It doesn't have to be, as long as it's well labeled. But if you're trying to get people not to see what's inside of it, you probably don't want to have see-through.
Yeah.
But that's something people like to see see-through sometimes. So tell me what other questions you have about this that I can answer for you.
If I don't, so my two choices, or two of my choices, would be to label it per person.
You could do a per person
or
container.
Per gift.
Well,
like a category of what
like
the
a
gift
category
is.
of gift. Now,
Okay.
I would probably recommend that more so if you had a closet that was a completely gift closet, Christmas, birthday, everything, right? I would probably say list it by category.
Okay.
But because you buy and only use this area specifically for Christmas, I would say make it per person.
Okay.
It just makes sense to do that. Now, you may have a little bin that, I don't know, our family buys tons of stocking stuffers.
Yes.
So you may just buy a lot of stocking stuffers, and if you don't want to throw it in their bin, you could just make a stocking stuffer bin and then sort that when it comes time to actually giving it to people. But yeah, I would do more of a bin thing because of the way you use your gift closet. But you've got a lot of storage over here, and even underneath here, you've got like storage underneath that shelf. And these shelves are not adjustable, are they? No, they're not. Yeah. So, and you could do some things on the side, but I like the idea of bringing your gift. Where's your gift wrap? Like your paper right now?
Attic.
Okay. So see, like, let's think about this in the future. If you this season keep your Christmas gift wrapping down, that means you could go ahead and wrap earlier than your Christmas stuff comes down to decorate.
Yeah, that's true.
So efficiency, you have it right here from this closet to this bed, and you can put a sheet over the bed so you don't, get any kind of dust or, whatever tags on it, it would snag anything. A beautiful bedspread, by the way. But that's what I would do here. Any other questions that you had?
No, but when I put the person's name on it in that area, then I know who I have to buy for.
Yes.
I just not thought of that.
Yeah. It's a really good point because you're right, because then you're like, oh, their bins really shallow. I'm not buying for you much this year.
Yeah.
And another thing too is, and I don't know that you do this, but sometimes I receive gifts and I don't need the gift. I appreciate the gift, but I don't need it. So I will re-gift it. But I always put the name of the person who gave it to me on the gift that I'm re-gifting, so I don't gift it back to them.
True. Okay. Yeah.
So keep that in mind, right?
Exactly. Okay.
And the gift may come from a family member at Christmas. And, I love the thought. I mean, I gift giving is one of my love languages. I love it.
Yes.
But I don't really need it and I won't use it. So I'm going to bless somebody else with it. But I don't want to hurt their feelings by giving it right back to them the next year.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, that's a good point. When your bins are empty and somebody else's is full, then you know that you're not proportionally buying correctly for people.
Okay. That sounds good. Thank you.
So you're welcome. Okay. So the next area we're going to go to is going to be the linen closet. And let me get open here and turn this camera back around. Okay, so tell us about this closet.
Well, this is a collection of 30 years of linens. For some reason, I can't let go of some things in here. Now, they've probably not even been out of this closet for years. When my kid was little, I used these quilts and old bedspreads for pallets when the kids would come over. And now my kid's 30, so can't let go of it. So my question is, should I let go of it? Or if I just organize it, can I use it for something else?
Yeah, and I'm going to look a little light down here so you can see. And I like the word we use in our house is make a pallet.
Yeah.
I don't know what other word people would use, but someone asked me the other day what is pallet? They were thinking like a wooden pallet. I'm like, no, it's like a little bed.
Yeah. And I like old, I guess, I don't know, embroidery and just, I like the old things. It's not that I use them, but I keep them. And I don't know if I should let go of some of these things. They're not personal to me or my family.
Okay.
But I feel like, I don't know,
So you're saying now, just say it one more time. So do you have people come over and that spend the night with you that would make these anymore? So you don't. Do you grab any of these out of here to snuggle on the couch if you're watching a movie or something throughout the year, you or a few other people?
A couple of the blankets, if it's too cool, I'll, the light little blankets, I will. If I have a headache or something, I use the heating pad. And sometimes I use some of these things to decorate.
Okay, give me an example of how you would do that.
Well, like I have some Easter ones.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So I'll pull this out.
Placemats or table runners.
So there are some, exactly. So there are some things I use, but for the majority of things I don't use, like the beach towels once a year.
Okay.
So extra towels in case I have more people. I don't know. I think this looks chaotic.
Okay. So, and then you have some items here. You said a heating pad and a football in case you want to snuggle and play football, right? Right? Is that how you do it?
Yeah. That's a collector's item of my son's. And that's the thing is, when your kids move out, you still have some of their things in the house. That's right.
Now, have you given over all of his stuff to him? Most of it. Okay. Is that one of the things you want to?
Okay. I need to.
All right. So here's the thing I would say. I would say pare down, instead of making this really complicated and difficult for you, pare down percent of the blankets and here's how your criteria is going to work. Now, I'm not talking about the towels. I'm not talking about the table runners and all that. Just 50% of the blankets. So you're going to keep the ones that are going to be the most comfortable, that are in the best condition. You said none of these have any kind of family history. Is that correct? Okay.
Nope.
So that's the first thing I would do. Just the blankets, pare down. If you have 10 blankets, your threshold is 5.
Well, I'm glad you brought up that word, because I think that's one of my problems, and I'm assuming it's most of everybody else's, is I don't know what my threshold level is or number is. I know I don't need all this.
True. Only based on what you told me and how you use them.
So that's why I'm saying, how do you determine your threshold?
Well, I determine thresholds normally by what the clients have, and then say whatever you have, and depending on the criteria, you're not needing it very much anymore. These are not sentimental to you. Your need for these have changed.
Exactly.
Let's just make a clean 50%. From that point, let's see what will go if we need to do it anymore. Now, I'm going to switch the subject. Let's say shoes. So, you talked about being a shoe queen. How many pairs of shoes do you think you have?
Over 300.
Okay. So my thing on the threshold, 300, 150, if I cut it in half, that's a lot. That's a sting to you that you're probably going to reject immediately, because that's a lot of value there. So what I would may do is start you out with, okay, let's organize your shoes by style first, like your black flats, your black heels, your flip-flops, your casual flip-flops, and get all the themes. And then let's see how many of like flat blacks you have. And then I'd say, okay, if you have 10 pairs of flat blacks, they're not, they're just flat, then let's probably pare those down to half, or I can go a quarter, get rid of 2 or 3. So I'm going to look at the quality. I'm going to look at the condition. I'm going to ask you the last time you wore them. If it's been over a year and it's really, sometimes you just want them because you think you're going to need them.
Exactly.
But you really got something more comfortable that you like better. So I would start, 50% is a good number, but when you have that kind of investment in shoes, I would start dividing it by style, color, and then sorting a few from that.
Okay.
Okay. So back to this. What I would probably do is take your Easter, the things that you use to decorate your linens here, like your table linens, and I would make you a container at the top for just table linens, because it doesn't look like you have a lot. Am I correct?
Yeah. No. Just probably 12, because
12.
One for every month.
That's right. There you go. So I'd probably put your table linens up there, more like your seasonal decor and based on what I'm looking, that would fit in there. Would you agree?
I agree.
Okay. Then that alleviates, we get all this into one container. I would probably make you some kind of either a bin, a tote, or possibly a pull-out drawer. Like you can get like Sterilite drawer systems that are pretty small, that you could fit right. I didn't want to put it in here where you open it up and hit the store, but maybe right here in the middle or something. And we have these in clients' closets that we open it up and the heating pad is in there, or some little additional things that, whatnots are over here in those drawers versus buried in a basket and overflowing.
Okay.
And these drawers can look like a size of a shoebox. They normally come to a drawer system. They're sometimes they stack on top of each other. Sometimes they come as a set of 2 already like bonded together. It's like a frame, and then inside the frame is 2 drawers. So I would, depending on if you put little stuff in here, I would do that. And then organize the blanket, like keep the pillow, with a pillowcase or 2, so you can change it out if company comes and needs it. But I wouldn't keep any more than 1 pillow and, 2 pillowcases in here.
Okay.
Then I'd probably come in here and again, just alleviate these blankets, cut them by 50%. Now you said the towels. I would keep the swim towels. I love the ideas of towels. Do you not have enough towels in the other bathrooms?
I do have enough.
You do?
I do. That's why they're in here, because my bathrooms are full.
Okay, so then get rid of those. I would just say if your bathrooms are full of towels and you have plenty for you and guests, get rid of those towels because you don't actually need them. Now, another little thing, this is not where you keep your sheets, but if you kept your sheets here, One of the things that I would recommend is taking the whole sheet set and putting it inside of one of the pillowcases to keep the sheet sets together, and then you can stack them in on a shelf. Now here doesn't have any kind of sheet sets. I don't know that this, I'm always looking for things for your door. Remember, I always look for that. I don't see anything here in this particular closet that would really work well for the door. Those pocketed systems don't work. There's nothing for hooks here. They're all big. They're too big. So if there's something else in your home that maybe you need space for, let's say that you had a dog or like a dog leash, sunscreen, things like this. Think about, you could have a lot of our, like if you turn this into a game closet or something, let's just say it was, you might have game stuff on here, small handheld games. You may have a little pocket that says lost and found for little pieces that get lost and you find them in the couch cushions and stuff. So be thinking if there's something else in your home that maybe you might want to put that would have to go on these pocketed doors. I don't know what that would be right now. Yeah. But that you could eventually use that, or it could be something like that. But I really like the idea of 50% of this cut down. And how that's going to be is you're going to divide it out by these type of blankets, right? And then you're going to, and then the bulky blankets, and then decide, which ones are in better condition and what styles you may need one. Like the bulky one, I'd love to have at least one of those for a pallet or something, right? You definitely want to keep one of the bulky. Probably going to mostly of the medium thicknesses, ones that you're probably going to get rid of most of them, I would imagine, because you only need so many of those. Okay. So awesome. Any questions about this?
Well, when you say downsize, I understand how to downsize. So where do I put it? Do I just donate it? Do I try to find someone that can use it?
Good question. Okay. So some people feel better if they give it to someone that they know can use it. Okay. No problem. That's great. But don't let it sit in your house for ever, because then you're really not getting it. It's almost like organizing your home and say, well, I'm getting rid of the magazines. I'm going to take the magazines to the library. I'm going to take this to the shelter. And then now you've added 20 or 30 stops just to get decluttered, right? Sometimes it's just best to donate everything. So what I normally do is when you're trying to do a good clean out, don't worry about the meticulous of giving it to certain people unless they're really convenient. Just take it to donation. I mean, Salvation Army will come and pick it up if you just call them, or you can drop it off at a local Goodwill or something like that. Okay. Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Now, our third area is going to be, this is going to be a good area. This one's going to be about manuals. So people have these manuals especially around Christmas time, that they, that's where you're keeping yours.
Yes. Because I don't use them very often.
Yes.
And I have them all in here. But the problem is when I have an issue, like my refrigerator or the washer or dryer or something happens, I have to take all these out to find the one I want.
Yeah.
So excellent. I didn't know if there's another way that would be better to organize that.
Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to tell you is that you have to ask yourself, are you going to go to the manual or you're going to go online? Because a lot of this will be online. Okay. I keep my manuals, but some people love to throw them away. And it seems like you're comfortable keeping yours. Is that the way you want to go?
I don't have to keep them.
Okay.
I guess I just assumed I should.
Okay. So here's a couple ideas. Let's assume that you're going to keep them. We'll talk two different ways of keeping your manuals. So if you're going to keep your manuals, I would organize them into Ziploc bags. Probably something more sturdier than this type of container. And here's what we're going to talk about. Here we go. Let's switch this around. Okay. So let's just take out a few here. So this one right here is, when I'm going through these, how long have you had this particular product?
Probably 25 years.
Okay, so we know 25 years. It's pretty working. So we can get rid of that one, right? No problem. Now this one is, how long have you had the LiftMaster currently in your garage?
That's probably also another 10, 15 years. I mean, as long as I've been here.
And this is Spanish. Do you read Spanish?
No.
Okay, we can get rid of that one.
Okay.
Okay, now here's your shredder.
No, that's still in my library right now.
So this one looks like before operating this unit, read these instructions. Have you been operating it for a while?
Yes.
Okay, we can get rid of that one. So this is what you're going to do.
Okay.
You're going to go through these and to see if you've had them for a while,
Okay.
And you know that you're going to have to buy another one, like
Exactly.
a fryer or something if it goes out.
Yeah.
And what about this one?
It's a heater that I use in the bathroom.
Okay. And how long have you had it?
Probably 5 years. At least.
So I'd probably get rid of that one too.
Okay.
Now, if you had a refrigerator that's 5 years old, I would still keep it, right? Because it's more complicated than
that one. I actually put the date on it.
You did, and this is a good idea. I like this because I actually do the same thing with mine. I put dates on mine. And I can't say 100% that it's always been useful, but it has been a quick glance of how old something is, and to know if it's even still in warranty.
Well, then you can decide whether you want to fix it or not.
That's right. That's right. So what I do when I buy something, I keep the receipt and I copy the receipt and staple it to the manual. That way, because the receipt's probably going to fade.
Yeah.
And I have the original receipt. Now, if it's going to be something, especially like a lawnmower, refrigerator, leaf blower, something like this. Now, sometimes you have things that have parts in it just like this. So what I do is I take large Ziploc bags, anywhere from 1 gallon to 2 gallons. And I actually make manuals. For example, this Hamilton Beach thing that you bought in 2008. I would do one for small appliances in the kitchen.
Okay.
So I do one Ziploc bag of all the small appliances. And then I do, if it's a large appliance that has parts in with it, then a lot of times I will keep it in its own Ziploc bag. Because this just happens to be all containerized right now, but a lot of people have parts in their junk drawers and the bottom of these type of boxes, and so I would really put large appliances in one Ziploc bag, and if you get too many large appliances with parts in it, have it in its own Ziploc bag. This right here, Hamilton Beach 2008, I'd get rid of it. It's a food chopper.
Because I'm not gonna use that. I'll probably buy a new one.
You just buy a new one. Buy a new one on that one.
Exactly.
And then it's an ice cream maker here. How old do you think that is?
Well, it's old.
It's old. And you may not use this one as much.
Yeah,
So,
I might once a year.
I might be have a tendency to keep this one because you don't use this as much. And if the motor locks up or something, you could possibly come and use this. I mean, again, it would be my idea would be to keep this one.
Okay.
Get rid of all that kind of stuff. Let's see a few more things in here. Okay, so this one is a ceiling fan. Do you still have the ceiling fan?
Yes.
Okay, and ceiling fan's been working. How many years old is it?
Probably 15, 20 years old.
Okay, we're out of there. Okay, and so grab that. What's that one?
I was trying. Well, this is my John Deere tractor.
Okay.
Or a lawnmower, riding lawnmower.
Okay, I would keep that.
Yeah.
I would keep that because those are more of a major appliance,
Right.
right? And then your grill, I'd keep that because you may have to order parts from it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, vacuum cleaner, same thing. I would probably keep that one as well if it's still working.
Okay.
So that's what you just need to come in here and do. And then you're probably going to get rid of 50% of this just by sorting through if it's even. Now, let's talk about, we talked about receipts, copying them, and then attaching them to the manual, especially for large things or warranty type things. If you have a file cabinet, sometimes we put our clients' manuals in a file cabinet, and instead of putting them in Ziploc bags, we would label the folders like kitchen, major appliances, kitchen, small appliances, or outdoor small equipment, outdoor large equipment. If you prefer to do most of this online, or at least do a lot of it, what I would recommend doing is taking a picture of the manual, and maybe if the manual has like serial numbers or model numbers in it. Now, most like appliances or a dishwasher, you could open up the dishwasher and it's going to have the actual serial number and model number on it, right?
Correct.
But I've troubleshooted a lot of stuff either by pulling things up online just as well as I troubleshooted this. So if you feel a little bit comfortable, just that next step, take a picture of the front of the manual. Or any kind of, sometimes they have stickers on them that will say model number, serial number, and you can start keeping a file either on the cloud or on your computer of the actual product that you have and know how to actually go about it. Because sometimes on the smaller appliances, things are on the boxes. and they're not actually always on the appliance.
Yeah.
So again, just pick and choose for now until you get comfortable. But I have clients that actually do not want anything, any paper manuals. But I don't like to get online and search.
Yeah.
I want to know at my fingertips. So I tend to keep the paper myself.
Yeah.
So tell me any questions about this.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I guess I just didn't realize when is a good time to get rid of it. But I think the cost of an item makes a big difference. If it's a big ticket item like the riding lawnmower, it makes sense to keep that. But something that I probably am going to have to replace due
the 15-year-old
cost.
ceiling fan, the 20-year-old the fryer.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
And
don't
you're
need
right.
that. So that makes logical sense.
Yeah, and if you want to keep them in this basket, obviously you're welcome to. But again, when you have a lot of little manuals for little things, I would tend to put those in one Ziploc bag and say small appliance and identify, because if I'm looking for a manual really quick, I want to be able to identify where it's at. And if you have all these miscellaneous manuals in one Ziploc, or they're scattered throughout all of this, then you got to dig through the whole thing versus just finding the Ziploc bag with the small appliances in the kitchen and you go straight there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it. So everyone has done their manuals a little differently. I normally recommend keeping them out of your main file cabinet because people's file cabinets are already so stuffed. But if you happen to have room, transfer those to a file cabinet drawer and organize them that way versus the basket. But either way works. It's most of the time they have them, they're too thick. There's too much in here and they have to actually have a separate area for them like you do now.
Yep. I like the file cabinet idea.
Yeah. Do you have room in your file cabinet?
I do.
Okay. So I would probably do that and do folders of categories.
Yeah, I like
and
that.
I can send you a little category sheet for all the categories because we have one of those that we use with our clients.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, let's go back into the kitchen area and wrap up a few things in here. So, well, thank you for allowing me to go through some of your areas with you. And
no, thank you. I'm hoping these are issues that other people have too, so they can learn from me.
I know that I have manuals. I mean, I think everyone has manuals and stuff they have to deal with. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. All right. So I wanted to talk about we got a gift away last week. We gave an RFID wallet to someone I think it's Dawn in Carrollton. So Dawn, congratulations on your winning of that. It's actually going to be coming to you probably today or tomorrow. It looks like this and it has a really cute black and white pattern on front. So congratulations for winning that. And then today we were going around and we talked about your doors a couple times on your closets. So I thought that it would be a great opportunity to give away a shoe organizer to some of our fans. So if you guys might be interested in having me in your home to give you some ideas like I did Margaret, leave a comment down below. This can be in the Oklahoma City area or anywhere in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And leave a comment down below that you might be interested in us coming into your home. I just need to know your name, your city, and maybe what your number one area of concern is. And we're going to enter you into the drawing for that shoe organizer, and someone's going to win that next week. I'll announce it next week on Tip Tuesday. So please leave a comment down below if you're interested in me coming to your home somewhere giving you some organizing tips. So let's get to our Tip Tuesday tool. And you be our Vanna. This is our boss, Vanna. And so every week I do a Tip Tuesday tool on something that is going to help you guys stay organized. And this is what I've picked up today. Have you ever used one of these? Have you ever? Okay. So when I was a teenager getting my first car, I locked myself out of my car numerous times. I think it was just being inexperienced. But I have to say it's happened being an adult as well. So maybe it's a habit all the way through. So this is a heavy duty key holder. And basically this top here just slides and you put your key in here and it locks real good. And the magnet is so heavy, it's designed to go up underneath your car. And I've seen it underneath your wheels. I've seen it underneath the rear end of your car or the front. And think that this would bounce off, but I have never had it fallen off. And these run about $20 or $25 even at Walmart. and extremely strong magnets. So if you want to keep an extra key hidden on your vehicle, I wouldn't recommend telling everybody, but like I'm just telling you about mine. But this is a really good, even if it's just a key to get in your vehicle. You know, sometimes you have a different key to start it, and they have keys to get in your vehicle if you've locked your keys in. So I got this one at Walmart for about $22, and it is our Tip Tuesday tool of the week, and you can see on the back mechanism works, and I really think it's really good to keep you organized. At least it helps you look organized when you lock your keys in.
Yeah, there you
right?
go.
I mean, it's definitely not organized, but it helps you look organized because you got a backup plan, right? I mean, it's when you don't have a backup plan, then you're really all mess it up. So, all right, so next week on our Tip Tuesday, we're going to be talking about cloud storage. Now, you mentioned that you might needed some help with that. So we're going to talk about the major cloud companies, talk about what they give away for free versus what you can pay for to get your information, especially photos, videos on the cloud. And this is something we've just recently, my assistant Dana and our IT organizer Salome, they have put this document together, and it is outstanding. And one thing I will say is the information changes frequently. People change their prices, they change how much storage you get. So this is all real fresh information that you're going to be able to get. We just finished the research yesterday, and you guys are going to get it a week later. So I'm excited to share that with you and then let you guys make some decision about what works for you. So that's next week on Tip Tuesday. Also, I love to share something with you guys about get organized. And I just wanted to mention, if you guys work from home, if you have closets with office supplies, or you just have paper everywhere and you need a system, you need a area of the home that's very user friendly for working at home, call us and we can get that area completely organized. If anything, we can come in and do a consultation and give you the ideas, and you can physically do the work. It works both ways, and we love to give our ideas. We're very opinionated. I think it's a good thing when you're an organizer. You're very opinionated, and then you guys can decide on what you want. So, well, Margaret, thank you for being with us. Thank you for opening your home. It's absolutely gorgeous in here. I mean, she says it's like, she goes, well, it is, but you can't see it all.
No, you learn how to hide it. But you've helped me a lot, so thank you very much.
You're welcome, and we're gonna do a few more things after we're done here with Tip Tuesday. Well, guys, I'm Lorraine Brock with Tip Tuesday, helping you get your home, business, and life organized, and we'll see you next week on Tip Tuesday. Bye, guys.